Okay guys, I want to pop in. We filmed the recap of November of 2017 to November of 2018. We saw an enormous gain in last year's market throughout the whole year, an amazing summer in 2018 with incredibly low interest rates. And now we're starting to shift our focus and say what's going on in the marketplace for 2019 as buyers and sellers start contemplating a move or ones that have been waiting with that pent-up energy of like, oh gosh, I don't have anywhere to move. What can we expect? So I'm here to introduce the market analysis, and I'm going to encourage you to talk to agents that lead with facts and not feelings, because I might feel a certain way, but what do the facts actually say? And as a neighborhood expert, it's my job to focus on Gig Harbor numbers, West Coast numbers, and then with a good knowledge and insight with what the national experts are saying about the total economy and housing market. So I'm gonna educate you with actual data throughout this series, the truth about what's going on in the market and what numbers give us that information. And then my goal is always for you guys to be as informed as possible. That way, when you are looking at buying or selling in 2019, you're armed with the facts and can make educated decisions on pricing, timing, and preparation of your home. So, this is a little bit longer than my usual videos. I'm going to try to break it up into a couple segments for you, and so I'll be dropping these out over the next couple days. But number one question, we'll just address it right now. The elephant in the room is, are we in a bubble? Are we headed for another 2008 housing recession, 2006, 7, 8? And I'm going to say no. We are going to see a market shift. And we'll talk about what that is. But I want to remind everybody, including agents, buyers and sellers. Buyers, if you were in the market in 2018, you were like, oh my gosh, how many offers do I need to write to be able to get a house? Sellers who want to sell their house but can't because they have nowhere to go. We all did that rain dance for more inventory. So now what we're going to see is an increase in inventory, a little bit longer days on market, because we're gonna see the level of appreciation. So we've been seeing 10, 12, 13, 16% appreciation over the last few years consecutively. And now we're gonna start seeing a leveling of that appreciation to more normal standards. So we're expecting to see appreciation continue to rise. That's what the arrow's for. We're still going to see housing values increase. We're just not going to see them increase as dramatically, which will take some pressure off of the market. It will, and part of that is because more inventory will come on. I still don't think that Gig Harbor and Bremerton are going to experience that same uptick of inventory at all price points, but certainly we're already seeing the luxury market a little bit more saturated with more inventory and choices and longer days on market. We started to see that in the middle of 2018. So as agents, we begged for more listings and a leveling off of pricing. That's kind of what we're gonna start to see at certain price points. And so we're just gonna be adjusting our mindset to a leveling of appreciation to more normal rates, which is what needs to happen in the marketplace. At some point, buyers are tapping out and saying, no, thank you. I'll stay right where I am. So what can you expect? A normalization. I've got some notes here. Make sure that my facts are right. A normalization of 3 to 5% in appreciation nationally. And I would say there's some exemptions here in the Gig Harbor market. Your move-up buyer range, that $350,000 to $500,000 is going to continue to be that entry-level home value in Gig Harbor, where we just don't have that much inventory. They're not building homes at that price point, and so that is going to continue to be one of those low inventory points where you're still going to see a lot of competition. And then Bremerton, where I do a lot of business as well, the first-time home buyer market there is out in full force. So don't be nervous. We need this to be able to have continued increase over time and avoid buyer burnout. And so the conversations that you need to be having with your agents is making sure that your agents are more educated on pricing your house properly, knowing the competition, and making sure that they prepare your home and market your home in the best possible way so that you can meet your expectation of price for your house and timing. So if you overprice your house, you're gonna sit in that house longer. If you want to move your house quickly, your agent has got to know their numbers, because now more than ever, with more inventory coming on and another reason why we're seeing a little bit of a market shift is higher interest rates. We were at like 3.25% for a while, which is phenomenal and amazing, but not sustainable. And so now we're headed into interest rates right around 5%, with the expectation that they'll probably go up a little bit more throughout 2019. Buyer power reduces a little bit, and you need to make sure that you're educated on the best price available in your market and in your price range. When luxury buyers hear, oh my gosh, it's a seller's market, I'll be listing my house, I will do nothing, and I will sit and languish. So just because it's a seller's market at the entry-level price point in Gig Harbor does not mean that you're at a seller's market in the luxury price range. Get a local market expert that can educate you on your home's value, price range, comps in the market, and make sure that the new value of your house is adjusted based on current market standards. So you don't leave money on the table and you don't waste your time. And where is this information coming from? Tom Ferry is an amazing business coach, and he recently had the owner of Keeping Current Matters, and they had a conglomerate of the 100 most educated real estate industry leaders, so mortgages, all of the top 100 economists in the real estate industry got together in a think tank and said, okay, where are we expected to go nationally? So the national projections based on those economists in the real estate industry, not just national news, are saying that 92% of those experts are saying we will see market increase of 3 to 5% across the nation in terms of market appreciation for your house. So 2% say that we will go and have some depreciation, and I think that really depends on the market. Perhaps Seattle might see that at some point just because they went so crazy. Some markets just saw so much appreciation that perhaps they have to come down a little bit. And then that last 4% say that we're just gonna stay where we're at in 2019. So the 92% that say that we are going to continue to see housing values increase, but just at a slower rate. That's something that we can sustain. And on the West Coast, our coastal cities, we're still adding thousands of jobs. So we'll get into that, but that is the beginning introduction to say, hold the phone, let's address the elephant in the room. We're talking about a shift in the amount of appreciation for your house, slightly higher inventory levels. You need to prepare your house for market and know your numbers and know that there's no housing recession coming. The last 4 out of 6 recessions actually saw an increase in housing prices. So we're coming off of that Great Recession back in 2006 to 2008, and we can all remember how terrible it was for the housing market. That is not where we're going. The market conditions aren't even close to what they were back then. So stay tuned. I'll have another video for you January 4th, and we can get into what some of the conditions are going into 2019 to back up the fact that we're seeing just a slower appreciation of values, which is more sustainable. So sellers, if you're considering selling, get excited. There's probably going to be a house for you to move into, which is always the problem, is sellers wanting to sell and having nowhere to move. So that increase in inventory is going to give new life to a number of transactions that we'll see in 2019. So if you have questions, hit me up. And if you want to know the value of your house, I'm your girl. Gig Harbor, Port Orchard, and Bremerton are my jam. I'll talk to you soon, and Happy New Year.